The Crimson Dagger Affair, a mystery audio novel by Maria Verano. Chapter 1. The Scarlet Seal. The sweltering heat of Cartagena cloaked the city in an oppressive haze as Marietta Rodriguez walked through the labyrinthine streets, clutching a cryptic letter sealed with a crimson dagger. The words danced in her mind. A life depends on it. As Marietta entered the dimly lit Café Luz, the air was heavy with roasted coffee and whispered secrets. Her sharp eyes met Eduardo's haunted gaze. "My sister's been taken." He began, his voice trembling. The shadows deepened around them as Eduardo revealed the name that hung over Cartagena like a curse: Estrella Roja. The cartel's reputation for violence sent shivers through even the most hardened, but Marietta, Cartagena's most formidable private investigator, was no stranger to danger. "Tell me everything," she commanded. Chapter 2. Blood in the Dust. The abandoned car sat forlorn on the outskirts of the city, its dusty windows reflecting a crimson sunset. Marietta's gloved fingers traced the faint smear of blood on the passenger seat. Nearby, an old vendor whispered of a tall man with a scar. "They argued," he said, his voice trembling like a brittle leaf in the wind. Marietta's instincts flared. The scarred man was the first thread in a web she couldn't yet see. She pulled her scarf tighter as the chill of the encroaching night seemed to foreshadow the peril ahead. Chapter 3. Secrets in the classroom. The children's laughter echoed across the schoolyard, a stark contrast to the fear etched into Clara's face. Isabella was different, the young teacher confided, glancing around nervously. Marietta's questions were surgical, peeling back the layers of secrecy. Clara's revelation of a letter delivered by a scarred man was a spark in the darkness. Hours later, under the cover of night, Marietta broke into Isabella's desk. The journal she found there was a mosaic of anxiety and defiance. If anything happens, the key is in the garden. Marietta's mind raced. A key, a metaphor. She would soon find out. Chapter 4. The Garden Key. The moon cast an eerie glow over Eduardo's modest garden. Marietta's keen eyes scanned the flower beds until she found a loose stone beneath the hibiscus. Lifting it, she uncovered a small, rusted key. Eduardo watched in stunned silence as Marietta pocketed the discovery. "What does it open?" he asked, his voice thick with desperation. "That's the question, isn't it?" Marietta replied, her voice as sharp as the dagger seal that had summoned her. Chapter 5. Shadows of Proyecto Sol. The storage locker reeked of mildew and secrets. The suitcase Marietta found inside held the puzzle's heart. A dossier marked Proyecto Sol. Photos, maps, and documents painted a damning picture Isabella had uncovered: a covert government operation targeting the Estrella Roja cartel, placing herself directly in their crosshairs. Marietta's breath caught when she saw a photo of Eduardo standing with a known cartel lieutenant. The web tightened, and the realization hit her like a blow. Isabella wasn't the only one keeping secrets. Chapter 6. Betrayal at Dagger's Edge. Eduardo's facade crumbled under Marietta's interrogation. "I was trying to protect her," he admitted, his voice breaking. "They found out about the files. I begged them to spare her." Marietta's anger simmered beneath her icy exterior. "And where is she now?" Eduardo's trembling hand pointed to the docks. "A warehouse, but you'll never get past their guards." Marietta's lips curled into a grim smile. "Watch me." Chapter 7. The Warehouse Inferno. The docks were cloaked in shadows as Marietta crept toward the warehouse. The air smelled of salt and diesel, and the distant hum of boats was punctuated by the bark of cartel guards. Inside, Isabella sat bound and pale but alive. "You're safe now," Marietta whispered, cutting her free. Their escape became a desperate dance through the maze of crates and shadows, with bullets slicing the air around them. Marietta's cunning and Isabella's resilience carried them through, but the night was alive with danger. Chapter 8. Ashes of Redemption. Safe in Marietta's apartment, Isabella clutched her teacup like a lifeline. The ordeal had etched lines of fear and gratitude into her face. Eduardo, meanwhile, was arrested by dawn. His betrayal was undeniable, but Marietta couldn't suppress a pang of pity. He had been a pawn, sacrificing everything for a sister who might never forgive him. As the sun rose over Cartagena, Marietta stood by her window watching the city awaken. Another case closed, another life saved. But in the shifting light, she saw only the shadows. Justice was a fleeting thing in her world, but she would chase it to the ends of the earth.